the investigating officer in the Joanne Swartbooi case, will continue his testimony today at the Palm Ridge Magistrate Court. Swartbooi is accused of killing her boyfriend, Timothy Jacobs, and that was in November last year. Now, there have been numerous postponements to this bail application since Swartbooi was arrested last year. Our reporter, Tshegohaco Moagi, has been following this case. She's live to us once again from inside the courtroom. And Tshegohaco, help us understand what the reasons were behind the very latest postponement that we saw.
Well, good morning, Ayanda. So the latest postponement that we saw, which took place last week, was due to the fact that there were time constraints and Joanne Swartbooi needed to return back to her prison cell. So that was the reason why there was that postponement. At about 3:30, the magistrate being informed that Joanne Swartbooi needed to be taken back to prison. And that, of course, also quite upsetting for the magistrate. She's been very vocal about how a bail application should not be taking so long. As you've mentioned, she's been incarcerated, Joanne Swartbooi, since November last year. She's been having a bail application since that very same month as well. And the magistrate really just saying that these postponements should not be happening and that a bail application should not be taking so long. I mean, it's been about 2 months now that this bail application has been ongoing.
It's also worth, I guess, taking a few steps back every time we head back into court with the story. Here we have a situation where a woman is accused of killing her boyfriend. There's little evidence to show for it. And that becomes really the big task, if you like, for the state to try to connect her to the passing of Timothy Jacobs.
Absolutely, Ayanda. And the issue here is the fact that according to what we have heard in court is that she allegedly burned Timothy Jacobs. And there is nothing, there's no concrete body or bones or anything at this stage to prove that Timothy Jacobs has actually passed away. I mean, just last week when we were in court, the defense attorney really just hammering the fact that it is still an alleged deceased because the DNA tests have not come back. They were found, some bones were found in the felt at some point, and those have been tested against Timothy Jacobs' family, his mom and his siblings, and that has not returned. So the defense working on that as their defense mechanism in this case, that there isn't a body to work with, there isn't any DNA evidence to prove that Timothy Jacobs has actually died. We are still also waiting, Ayanda, for forensics to continue with the blood test and to check whether that blood that was found on a mattress, so the forensics had to cut out a piece of a mattress because there was blood stains on there. This, of course, we heard from the investigating attorney. And we are still waiting to hear whether any of that DNA on that actually belongs to Timothy Jacobs. So the defense is using that in this particular case to ensure that Joanne Swartbooi gets out on bail, but to also say that they don't have any evidence, that the state does not have any evidence, that is all hearsay and it's circumstantial evidence that they are currently working on. But last week, during his testimony, the investigating officer, Sergeant Mtungwa, really just saying that even with circumstantial evidence, people have been locked up because of what they are able to find during their investigations. So that is still underway. He will be cross-examined. It will be continuing today by the defense, and hopefully we'll be able to get an understanding today whether Joanne Swartbooi will be getting her bail application, will be getting her bail or not. She is facing a Schedule 6 offense, and it's something that the magistrate has mentioned that really need to ensure that, everything that is brought to her, it is clear that whether she deserves bail or not. But at this stage, the state really just working on what they heard from Joanne Swartbooi, what they were told by Joanne Swartbooi, but the defense saying that that was not written, that the supposed confession that was made at the police station, there's nothing written down. So at this point, everything the defense saying is hearsay, so that defense will continue its cross-examination of Joanne Swartbooi this morning.
Sure. All of this in the trial hasn't even started. Tshegohaco Moagi, thanks very much indeed for that update. She's live to us there from the Palm Ridge Magistrate Court.